Well, folks, under the heading of It's Always Something, my oldest daughter's Dodge Caravan here. She's not in the U.S. Her husband is in the military, and they've been overseas for 4 years, I guess. I'm taking care of this minivan for her. It's a great little van, does a great job, gets mid-20s miles per gallon, in fantastic shape, and she didn't want to get rid of it. So I take care of it and change the oil yearly, and keep the battery topped off and drive it a little bit just to make sure everything's fine. But the other day I was driving it, 100+ degree day, and started down the road, and wouldn't you know, the blower motor on the front, it's got 2 blowers, one in the front and one in the back, and the blower motor on the front stopped. I mean, it just quit. And it stopped instantaneously. So I thought the blower motor itself might have burned up. Not normal that the entire thing just quits, but it's one of those things. But as I've looked into it further, I think it's there's a resistor that's in there, and I think the resistor is bad. So I'm going to work on that a little bit, show you what I can find. All right, so first things first, let's pop this open. These sides will collapse in. This thing actually has a little tether that holds it. I am all over the place with this camera today. I don't know if I can pull that off or not. Let's see. Obviously you can see that it needs to slide toward the camera. Almost got it. With one hand it's kind of hard to do. See if I can make it happen here differently. Hard to film it and get it. Let's see if I can do both. Maybe somehow like this. It's probably a really easy way to do this. Alright, I think I got wiser maybe. So I'm going to put this hook through here. We're going to just pull it off, I think. There it goes. Took care of that finally. Here we go. Put this stuff over here. I think this thing will come off. I am not sure. Here it goes. Oh. So that pops off, and then you can push this one down, and then this one over here pops off like that. And there we go. Bob's your uncle. Bob is your uncle. Okay, here we go. So I can see a little bit more of what I'm doing here. I don't even know what all that is. Okay, so you can pop this down. This carpeted area here comes down. Here's the heater motor. And there's the heater motor, blower motor I should say, right here. The connector for that. So I've checked that. It's not getting power when everything's turned on. And here's the blower resistor. So I'm going to pop that off and check it. Pop the plug off and check that blower and see what it's doing. And that way I can verify. Back shortly. All right, so obviously there's nothing here that's brand new knowledge. This is all stuff that you would be able to find on any number of videos out there on the tube for you. But I need to see. Not sure. I think that's got to be the ground there. I don't have a wiring diagram, so I'm just gonna. The way this thing works is that it's got about 4 wires and 4 power wires and a ground that go to it, and the whole purpose of those, I think I can back probe those actually. I don't need to take that off. The whole purpose of them is to control the rheostat essentially. turn the fan motor on, it should be able to sense the position of the fan motor switch, the blower motor switch, and it should work. It should be able to send the right amount of current to the blower motor. As I said, I've checked the blower motor. This connector comes over to the blower motor right here. I've checked power to that with the fan on. Nada, nothing. So we're going to see what we got coming to that resistor. Now on several of the videos out there on YouTube, the guys are checking things out, and let me see if I've got continuity between this one and ground, maybe. Where's a ground? Where's a ground? Good question, huh? Okay, I felt it there, or I heard it. You heard it too. So there's some continuity. That black wire is the ground. I just wanted to be sure I had that correct. And my cables are all, that sometimes happens. If you've got a test light, I saw some people on YouTube using a test light. Works great for this. I don't claim to be the greatest. All right. So that is a ground. Now let's take a look and see if I've got any power. I'm going to turn the switch on. I think one of those should have power on it all the time. I'm not sure which one. Okay, I believe that's got us. I believe that's got us. Need a new resistor. Okay, so further testing has indicated that it really probably is that that resistor. I hooked up a couple of leads here, positive and a negative, to a spare battery. The blower works fine. So I'm going to order the resistor, and I may go ahead and take this resistor out. You can see how that works, but I'll probably do that here in just a minute. All right, now you can see about as much of it as I can. Probably a little bit better, honestly. Let's see if I can pull this out here. This is a T something or other, I don't know what. Don't have the measurement here. Long since worn off the tool. It's on there somewhere, but it doesn't matter to me. All that matters is that it fits. I'll unplug this whenever I get it drop down. It makes life a little easier. There we go. Good deal. One more over on this side. Probably blocking it, but you get the picture. 2 screws is all. going to order this resistor. I looked locally, and they were anywhere between 80 and like 150 or 60 bucks, I think. I like to buy local if I can, but Rock Auto has them, a lot of them, a lot of variety for about 50 bucks. That seems to be okay. It's got a couple of little tabs here that you have to pull up, down on, up on, whatever. Down on the bottom and up on the top one. And out it comes, and that's what it looks like right there. And let's see if I can get this loose. Good luck. All right, well, you get the picture. I'm gonna pop those out. When I get the new one in, I'll show you that. All right, neighbors, back at it with my daughter's Dodge Caravan. And Rock Auto has come to the rescue with a new resistor for the blower motor. I think I've got the red bearing out here. It's on the other side. The red bearing. He comes out every so often. Or Snoopy, it's one or the other. I'm not sure which one it is. Oh, let's see. This is rough on my knees. Let's see here. Can I get this to work so you can see what I'm doing here? I don't know. We're gonna try it though. All right, let me try to see if I can get some light on this. Be right back. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can make this work. Plugging in all the things that need to be plugged. Oh, I think that's got it. That's not so easy to do. Okay. Everything seems, there it goes. That's it. And that one's in now. This needs to go in like, it will only fit one way. Sorry about that, didn't mean to whack you. It will only fit one way because of various features. And that I think is the way. There we go. Plug the blower motor back in. We'll reinstall these, although I need to probably check it, but I'm feeling optimistic. And because of I'm telling you, the red baron's going after it out there. He's going. Whoops, sorry about that. So I believe this is going to be a pretty, I hope this is going to solve my problem. We'll find out in a minute here. Here we go. So you get to be present here when I try this out for the first time. Let's see what we got. Oh no. That is not good. Hey folks, a little update here. My daughter's Chrysler minivan, 2014, had a problem. I was driving it one day, taking care of it for her while she was out of the country. And she was out of the country for about 6 years, so I've had this thing for quite some time. But I was driving it one day, had just changed the oil, just changed the transmission fluid filter, did everything for it, had it serviced up. July 4th, really hot day, I was driving down the highway, and the front blower motor just stopped working. Just cut right out, not going to work anymore. I checked the blower motor, 12 volts right to the blower motor, works fine, no problem. I checked, I forgot what it's called, there's some sort of a sensor under the dash, and I checked for power. There was no power coming from the TIPM, it's the total integrated power module. There was no power coming from the TIPM going to that module. There's a straight source of power that goes straight to that sensor, or I don't even know what it's called, resistor, whatever it is. And so there's no power going there, and that means that the TIPM wasn't sending the power. I took the TIPM out. I sent it to a place called Max TIPM Rebuilders out in California. Very fast turnaround, good work, I think, from their perspective. We'll find out here shortly. As soon as I remember how to hook all these wires back up. They're connected now, but they're not connected in a way that allows me to mount it back on these prongs here. These plastic tabs have to mount back here. So I'm not recording the actual work. There's a lot of different places you can go to see the actual work. One of those places, a piece of weather stripping or something from up here. Mice love this stuff. I'll say that much. Mice love it. They will eat everything out from under the vehicle. We don't have a huge problem with mice, but obviously we've had a few critters here somewhere. And at any rate, you can go to the Max Rebuilders site. He explains how to take everything apart. He explains how to put it all back together. He explains how to do a soft reset. So I would say I would recommend the company, but I will bring you along whenever I try to make the first restart with it, and we'll see how that goes. And maybe then we'll be able to make a better recommendation as to whether or not this is a good value. I think a new one was something like $1,200. This cost me about $300, including shipping. So that's not a bad deal. Turned it around in about 2 weeks, I think. So pretty good deal. I think I sent it out on the 4th or 5th of March. It's now the 15th. So yeah, a couple weeks. Pretty good service there. And if everything works fine, it's a great investment. You will be with me when I do the restart the first time. All right, folks, sorry about that. I wanted to let you know that I'm a dunderhead, and I'm a dunderhead because if you look, there's a set of mounting tabs here. There's a set of mounting tabs back here. There are a couple on either side of this TIPM. And I was thinking about that it had to be mounted on this side, but obviously this is the battery tray. So, you know, sometimes you just get ahead of yourself. And the realization hit me that, hey, I'm being an idiot. This is where it goes. So I'm going to work a little bit on getting this organized, making sure I have everything. I think I've got everything in the right spot now. I don't think it can go another way. And I believe when I lift it over and mount it in the right spot, we'll be fine. I'll show you in a minute if it works out the way I hope it will. All right, reinstalled. Everything can only go one way. I got everything connected back up. This is a dirty battery tray, but it's just going to be that way. I'm not going to lose a lot of sleep over that. I'm sure it will not be clean for a long time anyway. I'm going to pick up some of my junk here, and I'm going to begin the process of trying to make sure that this thing is ready to go. And then we will put the battery back in and go do the reset, and you'll be along with me, as I said, for that. As I said, 2 clips here. This is like the place where everything rotates. Ouch, that hurt a little bit. I've gone in. Got to make sure everything is absolutely where it needs to be. I've done that already. Everything's in place. No problems there. Here we go. All right, we'll check with you when we get everything connected. Well, folks, I got so carried away, I did not bring you along for the first start, but I did start it. Everything seems to be working fine. Never mind the low tire light. It's not low. One of those sensors is bad somewhere, but here we go. Check this out. That was my problem. The rear one would work, and it still does. The front one would not. And when I as I said, troubleshooting it, there are two wires that go into there's a module under there. It has some cooling fins on it. Some sort of, I don't even know what it does exactly. Couldn't begin to tell you. I used to know, but it's been too long since I've looked at it. At any rate, 12 volts to the blower motor showed me that the blower motor still worked, and it does. It works great. No problem there. I got the schematic. I just bought a manual for the van and looked at where the power came to that module. Power came directly from the TIPM module underneath the under the hood. But if there's not voltage coming to that module underneath the dash, which is connected directly to the fan and is controlled by the settings on your variable position sensors here, the pots as it was, the potentiometers here, that module is not sending any power to the motor because it's not getting any power from the TIPM. So took that out. Now the TIPM, as I understand it, is it's very common to have the TIPM malfunction, the fuel pump malfunction, the fuel pump sending, the voltage to the fuel pump gets fouled up from the TIPM, and that's a very common issue. This one is less common because obviously the blower motor could be bad, the module under the dash could be bad, or the TIPM could be bad. And the good news is the TIPM's not that big of a deal to work with. I spent a lot of time putting it off, truthfully. So don't put it off. Troubleshoot it. Figure out, do you have power coming to the motor? If you don't have power to the blower motor, check the module that's up under the dash right next to the blower motor. You'll see the wires going right to it. Again, this is a 2014 30th anniversary Chrysler minivan. Actually Dodge minivan, Dodge Caravan. But it's the same either way. Check the power to the blower motor. If there's no power there, check the power going to the module that's under the dash. If there's no power there, then you know that your TIPM is bad, and just contact Max or another reputable builder and have that taken care of. But I can tell you that very happy with the service from Max TIPM Rebuilders, and I would recommend them to anybody. So this is a quick review of a problem that I think, truthfully, I first had an issue with this back in 2023, I think it was. Back in 2023, perhaps. Yeah, it would have been July of 2023. No, it was before that. It had to have probably been about 2022, I'm thinking. But at any rate, it was a while back. July 4th weekend, had a problem, and it's now March 15th. So even at best, I'm probably 7, 8, 10 months out. I think it's been longer than that. But regardless, it's fixed now. And it was my fault because it wasn't a priority. I don't drive it all the time. I was keeping it for my daughter. She's back, needs to have it. I should have had it fixed already, but it is fixed now. Thank you to Max Rebuilders, and thank you to a variety of sources that I've seen online, one of which is South Main Auto. Eric O up there at South Main Auto does a great job of explaining testing things. I recommend him highly. Rather than throwing parts at it, check it, try to figure out the reason for the problem. We got her fixed. I'm blowing warm air right now because it's a little cool outside, and I think daughter and grandkids will be fine. That's it for me.